What's up, my nerds? Today I'm going to be walking you through how to turn your PS5 DualSense controller from this to this. That's right, this is a DIY SCUF build. You will be able to add double back button paddle attached to the backplate. In order to do this, you will need a pre-soldered, pre-programmed double button backplate. Comes pre-programmed and the soldering and gluing is already done for you. Tools you'll need today are a screwdriver and a spudger. Once we have those tools, we're going to go ahead and start opening up our controller by peeling back this black faceplate, which is going to reveal 2 screws underneath each of these handles. This backplate will easily slide out and up to reveal those screws. They're located at the base of the controller here. Next, we're going to remove the bumpers. These are easily removed. All you have to do is put your tool underneath and they snap off. That's going to reveal 2 screws that you'll need to remove to loosen up the top half of the controller. The next step is to open up the controller. The controller itself is held together by these 2 fasteners located down by the microphone. Run our tool down the side, get some of the space in there, hold the tension with our fingers, then use the tool to unhook these fasteners. Once the fasteners are unhooked, the controller should easily pop open. The back plate has nothing attached to it and should easily be set aside. Our next task will be removing the battery from the motherboard. This is pretty easy to do, and it only has one connection, so remove that and set that aside. The battery housing will be removed next, and it is held in place by 1 screw and 1 of the microphone attachments at the bottom. If you're holding the controller the same way I am, it'll be the left microphone attachment that you will be removing, as well as the screw here in the middle. Now, looking at the motherboard, there are 4 connections that need to be disconnected. Touchpad here, the left and right trigger systems, and the last microphone attachment here. Gently but firmly pull these connectors out of their sockets, and then use your screwdriver to pry the motherboard away from the front plate. Be careful removing the motherboard. There are cables down at the bottom that you don't want to tangle. After you have the motherboard disconnected from the front side of the controller, what you're going to do is take your Bitro backplate and remove the protective covering off of the front face of the double-sided tape. Align the holes with what is there on the controller and firmly press where the double-sided tape connects with the controller. Hold this for 10 to 15 seconds to make sure you have a solid connection and that it won't slide anywhere when we put the faceplate back. You're going to take the middle PSN button off of the motherboard and place that back into the front faceplate of the controller. I had some issues with my double-sided tape sticking and staying in place, so it took a little bit of finagling. During this step, please be patient because it may take a couple tries to get the alignment just right. Once this strip is where it should be, place the motherboard back into its original setting and remove the double-sided tape protector on the back side of the Bitro strip and fold it over onto the motherboard like so, aligning the holes and the connections to make sure that the connection is solid. Hold this here for 10 to 15 seconds to make sure that you have your solid contact. Once the motherboard is back in place and the Bitro strip has a solid connections with the contacts, we're going to reconnect the touchpad, both trigger systems, and the right microphone connector. To reattach the battery housing, make sure that it is aligned with the motherboard placement. Screw it down and reconnect the left microphone. Once the battery housing is placed back into the controller, our next step is just to reattach the battery like so. Go ahead and put that connection together and place the battery back into its housing. Now, it's time to piece the controller back together. Make sure the alignment is good and then bring the controller together. Make sure you squeeze the controller with the firm placement all the way around so that the fasteners along the base of the controller are reconnected. Once the fasteners have been locked in place, we are then going to seal up our controller with the 4 screws that we removed from earlier. The first 2 go right here at the top of the bumpers, and the bottom 2 go right here at the base of the controller. After doing so, we're going to go ahead and slide in the black faceplate of the controller by sliding the 2 prongs underneath where the touchpad connection is, over top of the thumbsticks, and then down and along the handles, making sure to press firmly along the sides until you hear it snap. After that, we're going to reassemble the bumpers. If these are aligned correctly, they should easily snap right back into place. And there you have it. That's how you make a DIY SCUF controller. Again, this backplate is available on Bitro.de's website. You can use code DALL10 for 10% off your order at checkout. I recommend getting the pre-soldered, pre-programmed, and pre-glued PS5 backplate. It just makes for easy, mess-free installation. And if you made it this far into the video, tap that like button like a tap it at ass. See you in the next one.